want to get some feedback from Carrie and Jake. Just want to read something and get your reaction to this. Drug abuse is costly. Drug abuse is a major health problem that impacts society on multiple levels. Directly or indirectly, every community is affected by drug abuse and addiction, as is every family. Drugs takes a tremendous toll on our society at many levels. And just to put some perspective on it, substance abuse costs our nation more than $484 billion a year. Just by comparison, diabetes costs our society $131 billion, and cancer costs society $171 billion. So that's perspective. So, Jake, I'll start with you. Let's talk about the drug abuse impact on society.
Absolutely, and thank you, Joe and Crisco, for coming here today. And we're very thankful for sharing your story. And I hope and pray that viewers watching could be really inspired by Joe and Crisco, and someone who may be struggling out there and may have a feeling of that they have an addiction. I think that Joe and Crisco's story may help them to really understand that there's always hope, and that hope is really through proper care and proper treatment. But it starts with a step of knowing that you do have a problem and that you do need help. But in terms of cost to society, you're right. It definitely does. I mean, clients with addictions many times have to go to places in California and Florida and have to stay there for a couple of months, and it's an immense amount of money invested that families invest, and our state's government do invest through government granted agencies. So it is a lot, but ultimately it's a worthy cause because it's out there, it's prevalent. But I think what our bigger investment has to be is in terms of psychoeducation. What tools do we give to allow individuals to really cope with life stressors? How do you help someone who's been through the gamut, and what could they do to better their lives? These are the investments that we do need to really focus on. And once clients fall down this road, I'm glad that we do have terrific resources and that we do invest in it. I think that I'd rather have it the other way, but I'm glad that resources are there, but it has to be proactive as well, not just reactive in terms of our stance. So that's my take on it, and hopefully more of our proactive causes could really prevent the reactive costs that are really adding up to an insane amount for families and clients. But it's not so much about the money, it's about the lives, it's about maximizing clients' abilities to cope. So that's really our primary focus as therapists and as people who want to make a difference. So yeah.
Okay, Carrie, your thoughts on the impact of the drug crisis in our society?
Sure. I'm coming from a different perspective. I feel that we as a society have failed. I feel that our government needs to provide better rehabilitation for, and I refer to people who suffer from substance abuse, including the families. I feel that I look at it from a holistic standpoint, that it's not the person who's in treatment, but it should be the entire family that's in treatment. The government, I feel, does not put as much funding towards it as they should. So for example, Howie, you were just giving statistics about diabetes and how much that costs society versus issues involving substance abuse. Well, the government really doesn't give as much money towards rehabilitative services, and those, I feel that those statistics are actually referring to those who are in treatment, the amount of money that the government puts towards in treatment. But what about rehabilitation services? Once someone leaves treatment, what about those supportive services? For example, Joe mentioned that he's 5 months sober, and the support services that he's getting, I feel that hopefully that they're good enough. I think we could be doing so much better. People they're discharged from inpatient treatment and they're put into an outpatient treatment, but it's not enough. I think that we need to look at so many things on so many different levels, and I think that we need to start looking at the services that we currently provide for rehabilitation.